Thank you so much for your time. Considering this report has just come out and we're hearing about it from the New York Times, what's the significance, the overall significance of it?
Well, I don't think it comes as any surprise. Erik Prince has long had a relationship with the leadership of the United Arab Emirates, and in particular with the de facto ruler, Mohammed bin Zayed. So the fact that he was supportive of Khalifa Haftar, presumably funded by the UAE, is not very surprising. I think the question is twofold. First of all, whether it made a difference, and de facto on the ground, Erik Prince did not make much of a difference. His forces were there for a relatively brief period of time and did not change the political and military landscape. The second question is whether or not the United States would want to, the Biden administration would want to take action against him for violation of both national and international law. And I think that that's probably not going to be the case unless the Biden administration were trying to go against a large number of people who were associated with the Trump administration and violated laws. And that doesn't seem that like they're going to travel down that road.
Well, what about international reaction? Could we see the UN do anything?
Sure. I mean, I'm sure the UN may very well do it, but for that to have real consequence, they would have to file a legal case against him. And it remains to be seen whether they will do that. Let's keep in mind there are multiple parties in Libya that have violated international law in the course of the conflict.
And James, what does this relationship that Prince has now with regards to Libya speak about the Trump administration's involvement in what was happening there, considering that his sister was the former education secretary under Donald Trump, Betsy DeVos, and he's, of course, the man who founded Blackwater, the very controversial security firm?
Well, I think the way to look at this is Erik Prince has long been a Trump supporter. And yes, his sister was in the cabinet, but I'm not sure that that was the crucial factor. He also had access of his own. The Trump administration's policy in Libya was really to be absent, bar the fact that they were supportive of the UAE and had a relationship with the UAE in which, much like with Saudi Arabia, the UAE could do what it wanted and the Trump administration would support it. You had one moment where it looked like Trump may possibly come out in favor of Khalifa Haftar, and that's when he took a phone call from Khalifa Haftar several years ago while he was president. But nothing really came of that. So what I think you're going to see now is a greater engagement by the Biden administration across the board, not just in Libya, but also in other conflicts, to try and resolve those multilaterally. And that will mean including withdrawal of foreign forces from Libya in line with UN Security Council resolutions.
James Dorsey, really appreciate your time and your take on that story. Thank you.